Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Marion.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We are wrapping up our day here on Modern, really our week exploring Modern on Versus Live.
It's been a good week. It's been fun.
Yeah. We are wrapping it up with a deck that I have championed this week. I wrote my article about it. I think it can definitely return to the upper echelons of Modern. That is Humans. And you're playing the deck that you've been championing for a while in Bant Snow. Now has been adapted to be Bant Blade. Needs to be. I think that's been pretty common among the Snow control decks. Have really all turned into Snow Blade decks.
Yeah, it's just Astrolabes replaced by Stoneforge Mystic, basically.
Which sounds strange. They're two very different cards, but it does make sense when you really unpack it, because what Astrolabe did was allow you to be a more interactive deck because it made your mana so much better. So you got to play, not only your Ice Fang Coatls turning on earlier to interactive creatures, your removal you got to play early while still fetching islands, and then you got to play your Archmage's Charms and your Cryptic Commands in high numbers and cast them consistently. And without that strong curve of disruptive elements from early removal in your splash color, whether it was white or red or black, you played at least one of those colors to get some removal in your deck. You got to play that early. Then you got to play into your Ice Fang Coatls to cantrip, or maybe Omen of the Sea if you were Yorioning or something. Maybe an Uro early too. And then you had a million islands to set up your sanctuaries and your Archmage's Charms and Cryptics. Without being able to do that as consistently, you've got to incorporate some proactive elements, and Stoneforge Mystic is the best proactive element they have.
Exactly, and that isn't to say this is the only way to build it. So if I was playing a Modern tournament this weekend, which unfortunately I'm not playing Modern, for the next 2 weekends or so, but if I were to be playing this or the Scape Shift deck that we played on Tuesday, the Andrew Jessup one, are the two decks I'm interested in. But this isn't the only avenue of how to build the deck I'm interested in. I'm also, because Stoneforge has always been pretty Luke medium for me. Like it's good sometimes it's not great. Another way I really want to consider and try is replacing the Stoneforges with remands. And then you have 2 more cards to cut. I want to try 1 ECD and then a third mana leak. So that is just the slowdown, be more reactive style. I don't know if it'd be better. This is what I assume is probably better, but that's the other style that's been crossing my brain.
Remand, it really is dependent on how good Remand is in the metagame.
And it seems good.
We've definitely seen a return of that card, one of my favorite cards of all time.
Same.
Would love to see that one there. And if Remand is good, that does give you an avenue to be able to be more reactive, because it's easy to cast early, nice piece of disruption, and cantrips through your deck helps you your land drops. Make sure you can cast those more powerful blue counter spells.
Yeah, exactly. And all it really comes down to is if there is a lot of fatal pushes, a lot of lightning bolts in the metagame, Stoneforge is bad. And if there is a lot more slower control decks like Bant decks and stuff, Stoneforge is going to be better. So it really comes down to a metagame aspect, and that's something you can jump back from week to week pretty easily, just depending on what you see at the top of the metagame,
Yep. And right now you're going to be playing against a deck that does not have a lot of bolts and fatal pushes. This is Humans, so
but you do have Reflector Mages, so it's interesting. Of course, Remand is very bad against the Aether Vial deck, so I'm happy to have Stoneforges here, but it's not crazy far away,
sometimes I can just go bigger than a Germ token with a Batter Skull on it, or I can bounce the Germ with a Reflector Mage, like you said. I actually am interested to see how good Reflector Mage interacts against Uro. Because normally you're able to either at least gain 3 life and draw another card with it after if it gets bounced. Now you have to wait another turn and you're under a lot of pressure. You have to hopefully have the cards in your graveyard later on to bring it back again. So that should be a pretty good card for at least containing Uro a bit.
Yeah, this matchup scares me. I'm not gonna lie. This seems like a very tricky, hard matchup to play from both sides.
And then General Kudro, so I can exile the Uro before it even gets escaped. That's really nice to be able to do. I think General Kudro is really, really good right now because there's so many decks that are using the graveyard just a little bit. Mystic Sanctuary and Uro, that's probably the most of the non-linear graveyard decks like Dredge are using the graveyard, but you see some Lurises around, you see Cling to Dusts around, you see Unearths around in the Goblin deck. So all
Using
of those
pyromancers, mystic sanctuaries, all kinds of little random stuff.
Not enough where you want to be playing like Relic of Progenitus against these decks, but having a way to interact with the graveyard to stop that extra value, really nice in a deck like this that wants to limit the card advantage that its opponents get, but doesn't have slots to do that directly. It has to do it in a proactive way.
Exactly, and then God forbid, Dredge hitting a conflagrate and stuff like that too. Just great. So, excuse me. I guess I kind of don't have to cover my mouth. That's impressive. All right, so you were going to be going first.
I am indeed.
It has been the Corey show today so far. Not been your best show.
Well, sometimes it's not your day.
Yeah, that's for sure. You have been having the opposite of what you want on the top of the deck far too often today.
It's just not a great hand, but it's a keep.
Yeah, this hand is gotta be a mulligan. This one just seems way too bad for me. Just way too slow, way too clunky. I don't really want Force. Cryptic isn't that good. That just doesn't seem good to me.
Yeah, you would be keeping that hand solely on the strength of Supreme Verdict. But one verdict is not going to put humans away.
I would have snap forced a Vial on one just because I could not let you catch up. And that's already a pretty bad exchange. So, yeah, I think that one's just an easy mulligan there. All right. Let's try this again.
And hopefully you mulligan a 4.
Oh, thanks, bud. All right. So we're going to be putting one of these back.
At least one. You could put all 7 back.
I could. I am going to keep this. It's not, exceptionally good by any means. But, I think I'm just going to put this back. I can't afford that kind of interaction.
Unclaimed territory on human.
Yep.
And Aether Vial.
Yeah, and I mean I put this on the bottom just because I cannot afford to essentially multi-4 to counter that right now. Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely a heinous draw. So Breeding Pool, your go.
Okay, Vial on 1. Okay. That was an excellent draw.
Wow. Good thing the marbles are already locked down when you're getting your goods going.
And I'm going to go to 19 for a Meddling Mage.
Okay.
And I guess I will just name Path to Exile.
Okay.
That's your creature removal spell. And I'll pass the turn.
Seems smart. All right. Let's go with a land, and I'll pass to you.
Vial goes to 2.
Okay.
So, territory on human.
Good name.
Thalia's Lieutenant.
Yeah, that resolves.
Okay, trigger on the stack, activate Vial.
Okay.
Put in an image, copy Lieutenant, another trigger.
Okay.
So this Lieutenant is going to end up with 2 counters. The image Lieutenant will end up with 1 from this Lieutenant's trigger, and the Meddling Mage will end up with 2. And
that is correct.
We'll attack for 4.
All right.
Brings you to 16.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
And then I'll go to 15. I am going to... I don't have a Quaddle, so I think I can just safely make sure my mana base is good for now. Quaddle is definitely something I would have already cast and slanted my mana base a little bit more towards getting that snow stuff going. So we'll just go like that. Draw. Well... 2 cards?
Yep.
All right, this is going to be a pretty powerful play here. I'm going to Field of Ruin your Horizon Canopy. I was being extremely sarcastic. This is not a powerful play.
I will select an island.
Okay. I will get this Plains to represent path I cannot cast, and then I'll pass to you.
You're at 15 right now?
Yep.
This is 4, 7, 9.
10, 11, 12, 13. So you need 3 humans or maybe a Thalia's Lieutenant?
That'll do. I did the math. And you're dead.
I am?
Unless you've got like, a Dismember, I guess?
You got General Kudro. That one's probably pretty good.
I'll put this on 3. And I will use this island conveniently to play a Phantasmal Image.
Okay.
I will copy Thalia's Lieutenant.
Okay.
So this goes to 3, this goes to 4, this goes to 3.
Correct.
So now this is 14.
Boom, we're live.
I will attack you for 14.
I'm at 1. I already wrote it down, though.
Activate Ether Vial.
I already wrote it down.
And put a Reflector Mage.
Hey, I already wrote it down. I'm at 1. Yeah, I couldn't even beat an end-step Reflector Mage there. I mean, my hand was just too bad, you know. My opener was Cryptic Command, Supreme Verdict, 4 lands, and the Force. I mean, I cannot keep a Force there. I just have to hope to draw some interaction. And my first draw was Batterskull, followed by 2 lands, so that's not going to get it done against a quick human deck.
I was expecting an Uro that turn, in which case I wouldn't have had lethal, but my plan was to image the Meddling Mage then and name Verdict.
And name Verdict,
yeah. Just shuts you out. But
I figured you weren't going to let me just destroy you with a Verdict regardless, even if you didn't kill me.
But this was my opening hand, which was like, kind of mediocre, but when this is your first draw, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly it's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Thalia was definitely your lieutenant that game. Okay, well, that was a game of Magic. We are going to go to Sideboarding.
We're on the board.
Nice job, man. Nice job. Picking up the first game win. Match 3 is always a great accomplishment. So we're going to take a short break. I'm going to see what I have to deal with humans. He's going to bring in some stuff to deal with my Uros. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Sideboarding here on Versus Live. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Sideboarding here with Versus Live with Bant Snow Control up against a human playing humans. For me, very easy sideboarding here. Oh, wait. Actually, is Celestial Purge good against you? I forget about that card. You have Kudrow.
It hits Kudrow and it hits Mantis Rider.
Yeah, that's pretty narrow. I don't think that's good enough.
Yeah, I'm not playing Freebooter.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, I really just don't have many good targets here. I'm supposed to be good against aggro decks already, but humans is one of those exceptions where it's not a very mainstay aggro deck right now, but I think that is about to change.
Yeah, and the color hosers somehow don't tag the 5-color deck, which is weird because I'm mostly, an Azorius deck, and the color hosers are generally centered around the other 3.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I mean, as far as Mystical Disputes, I don't want that against a Veil deck, so I may get more of your blue cards with that, but that's just not the kind of game we're playing. So pretty easy here. I don't want Force Negations. Timely is really my only playable sideboard card with how this deck's set up. If it comes down to, this deck becoming more popular, I think the number 1 card I want to add into the sideboard is 2 EEs. Engineered Explosive is always phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's very versatile. So, I mean, this sideboard has a very specific plan against certain matchups, but if, big mana is not that popular, we can cut some of these. I think 2 EEs is probably something I consider more of.
Yeah, it would be a welcome addition for this matchup.
Yep.
On my side, we've got some more good interaction here. Sin Collector is a classic 2-for-1, great with Phantasmal Image. And the information is also pretty valuable. I'm bringing in some Deputy of Detentions and trimming a Reflector Mage. This card can not only, take out an Uro, it can take out, a piece of equipment. It can also just clear away all these tokens from Timely. Not entirely sold on it.
Too, yeah.
It is a 1/3 that is not a human.
Yeah.
Which can be awkward. And we've got 1 relic. I know we already have Kudrow, but the 1 relic is pretty low cost. It's pretty easy to cast, and it's a cheap cantrip.
Yep.
So it's sort of replacing a 3-man Inspector. I'm cutting Unsettled Mariner. This would be a much better card if Corey weren't Bant. If you were black or red, a push or a bolt deck, Mariner would be staying in the deck for sure. But with just Path, it's not great. Just so, weaker disruption for the matchup, and we're bringing in hopefully better disruption.
The Sultai Snow decks, that thing's awesome. Yep.
Yes, yeah. No, I think this card is just really underrated. It's essentially what I'm playing instead of Freebooter. I'm playing, these are sort of my Freebooter slots, right?
Yeah, I think Freebooter is heinous right now. I mean, not even just right now. I just think that effect is so low impact for Modern. It's just, maybe if it was a 2-mana 3/2 flyer that did that effect, I think it would be, more.
2/2 flyer would be more than enough to make it really, really good.
Yeah, but 1/2, I mean, that is not an aggressive creature. Sure, it's, free information, not even free, but, it's information on your opponent's hand, and it can sometimes get your opponent get the only verdict. They have no other removal spell or something, but the amount of times it just gets you, I think, is pretty low.
Yeah, and then it's hard for me to attack a ton with it against this deck when you have Ice Fang Koala.
Yep. And now my Quaddles are much worse because I don't have Astrolabe. So on turn 2, no matter what, it is not going to be a Death Toucher. No matter what now. There's just no way anymore. So now it is a turn 3 Quaddle, which does compete with your Uro slot. So, I mean, Quaddle is worse. It's definitely worse here. Yeah. I want to be playing Stoneforge on 2, Quaddle on 3, essentially, All right, I will be going first.
You quaddle on 3, and then you get to, put the sword in on turn 4 and equip it to the quaddle. And
exactly, and then life's good. I'm going to keep. We're missing one key element here, of course, but I think it's still a keeper.
Sand started off so well. land, Violed Lieutenant. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And then it was 3 more lands to finish.
Ooh, okay, that's not great. That's not great.
Send that one back.
Send that one to the cleaners here. Yeah, I mean, this hand, we know exactly what we want to draw, but even if we don't hit it immediately, we still have a pretty decent curve out here, so I really like this hand against humans. All right.
Okay.
Let's battle.
Down to 6. Up a game. I get to be on the draw.
Oh, God, how does it feel?
First time today. And wow. Down to 5.
Now we're back to the Ross Marion we all know and love here. You had your one game in the sun. Now you're back in the shade there, buddy.
That hand had a good mix of lands and spells. It was 4 lands, 3 spells. You put a land back and you're evenly split, but it was 3 3-drops. And that's just not going to fly with humans. I got to get onto the battlefield quickly.
Yep.
Just can't keep a hand like that.
No, but I'm not afraid of your 3-drops if that's your first play from the Bant side. That's for sure.
Yeah, especially so on the draw.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, if I'm just talking from a tournament perspective, if I want to play a modern challenge or something, I truly don't know if I would favor Bant or the Temur Scapeshift. I really like the look of that deck personally.
Okay, for 5-card hands, this one's actually pretty good.
Okay, I hate that. The fact that your 5 is good is kind of unsettling. Thank you. Thank you.
We will go back.
Your go.
Noble Hierarch.
Noble Hierarch, okay. I will go with a Plains, and I'll pass to you.
Champion of the Parish.
Oh, okay.
Cavern on Human. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben.
Okay.
Counter on the champion. Pass turn.
I will pass Thalia.
I will search my library for a land.
It's a good call.
And it will. I have a Ziggurat to cast images, so I'm just going to get the plains.
Okay. You have 2 lands?
Yeah, 2 basics. I own plains. Pretty stock.
Makes sense. All right. Didn't know that card's in my deck. That's unfortunate. Let's see. What do we want to do here? I think we just want to use the value on this. It's not necessarily a great play here, but we're just going to go to Fairy, bounce this, get that counter out of there, and pass to you. Didn't want this one here, y'all. That was what we call a Ross Merriam, or for anybody who doesn't know that, a sideboarding error.
We're still at 20.
I am at 20.
Played a Field of Ruin there, which is generally indicative of not having a ton of lands.
Yep, that is a very good observation to make. I always make that observation when fields come down too, and like sometimes it backfires on me. I make aggressive plays because of it, but yeah, I agree. I always think that way too when people make that kind of play.
Definitely could just have a shock land in hand. Just would rather play the untapped land there.
Yep.
But that would be my guess, is like shock land, no other lands.
Solid assumption.
And do I want to just spew my hand, or do I want to deal with the Teferi now?
Yeah, that's the decision I put Ross in with this Teferi. If he wants to deal with it, at least one of his mana is shut off. So I was like, Teferi's not that insane right now anyway, so it seemed like a decent trade-off.
I think I'm just going to spew.
Okay.
So champion.
Okay.
Thalia. So we'll make that one uncounterable.
Okay.
For whatever that's worth. And now I have a decision as to what to name with this Meddling Mage.
Okay.
And it is... I kind of feel like I want to name Supreme Verdict. We've already used a path.
Yeah, I can't cast it next turn because of this, but it's still an absolutely back-breaking spell against you, so that one makes sense.
Yeah, I'll name Supreme Verdict.
Okay.
Pass the turn. Gonna need to draw a nice string of spells here. We kept a 1-lander with our 5 cards, and we've drawn land.
Yeah, that's not usually great.
I guess it was land, and another Thalia was our 3.
I'll take up this, and then I'm going to pass to you.
Okay, so you can Field of Ruin plus Ice Fang here. Phantasmal Image.
I'm going to respond. I will Field of Ruin your Cavern, and I will play an Ice Fang Quaddle. You pegged me, buddy. You pegged me. I wanted to make that play a little sneakier, but you're being a jerk and all and calling out my plays.
I'm going to copy Meddling Mage.
Okay.
The champion. What am I going to name with this one? I want to attack, so I think I'm actually just going to name Supreme Verdict again.
Okay.
Though that is really awkward. Like, I'm sort of stuck in an awkward spot.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have done this first, because I know if you have it, you're going to play it. But yeah, I guess it was going to be awkward regardless.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I can wait to see what you blocked and then still get to image Meddling Mage.
Yep. No, that's a tough spot for you.
So I think I have to. We're 100% sending Thalia at the Teferi.
Yep, that's a good attack.
And the other 2 are you, but I guess I have to figure out this Meddling Mage first. I'm getting ahead of myself. And if I name Verdict again, you're just going to block the champion and you leave me with some 2/2s, which is, not the worst. I'll have 6 power in play. It'll be at 18. But you have a pretty stocked hand, 6 cards over there.
5.
5, yeah. Still quite a few. And if I name, anything else and you have the Verdict, you'll just block here, go to 16 and Verdict me, and I'll be dead.
Yep.
So if I played around Verdict with this one, I think I've got to keep doing that. So I'll name Supreme Verdict again, and I'll make that attack.
All right, I will take 2.
Maybe I just shouldn't attack with Champion then. That may be the right play. Yeah. I like that.
Okay, I will block that, and I won't take 2.
Yeah.
I'll go to 20.
Yeah, you're still at 20.
Okay,
you can go.
All right. Yeah, and these are one of these situations where it's like, you're contextually making different plays, and with the way my hand's set up, whatever you do, I have a play that is correct based on my hand. So it doesn't matter what you do. I just had a good enough set of options here that I could make that decision. No, now I got options, because now I have an actual strip mine. Since you're out of basics, that's going to be a good one. But you also just have enough lands that it doesn't matter that
I'm
much.
not really concerned about losing a Ziggurat here.
Yep. So I think I want to double spell. All right. I think I know what we want to do here. All right. Stoneforge. I'll go get my Bata Skull, and then I'll pass to you.
All right, send in the clowns.
Okay, I have everybody's favorite snake.
Yeah, figured as much, but at this point, it's nothing I can do.
Yep, I agree with you. Okay, so now I want to just block this and take 4.
Brings you to 16.
Yep. Ice Fang Quaddle's not dead, y'all. Still very much alive and kicking. All right, well, it's kind of awkward. Let's go with a Oro. Go to 19. Draw, no land drop, and pass to you.
Let's play a Sin Collector.
It's non-creature you get to pick?
Instant or sorcery.
Instant or sorcery? Okay. Yep. I'll just show you then.
I will take the Path to Exile.
Okay. I accidentally left in an extra one. I probably should have brought in a Purge.
That's the turn.
Better Skull. I need a Germ. I'll untap. I can't bring back Uro yet. Okay, there we go. I'll take 3, but I'm going to gain 3. right, and I guess I can strip mine you first. Bang. Oh, and I could have burrowed actually through that anyways.
Do you have another forest?
I do.
If you had another forest, then
I could have burrowed anyways,
I guess,
yeah.
well, you still needed a land.
Yeah, I still needed an actual
any
generic
land
land. So I lost 3, but I'm gaining 3 to play Uro.
Stay at 19.
We'll escape these. I'll gain 3. Yep. Draw. No land. Do I want to attack and trade? Sure.
16 to 23.
Your go. Better not play an instant or sword. Oh, I still can't cast it. You have Thalia.
And copy Sin Collector.
Okay.
Take the opt.
Okay. It's exiled, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Permanently.
Perfect.
That's why it costs 3 mana.
All right.
Pass turn.
I just wasn't sure if it was graveyard or not. I will Stoneforge. Yep. I'm going to search while I'm at it.
22.
Yep. I'll put Path on top. Oh, should probably get the equipment, huh?
Is it Feast and Famine or?
Feast and Famine, yep. Only 2 equipments on this. I like to experiment, or I want to, with some of the other swords, but I have not yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to play and equip to this one. And then I'll attack with these 2 trigger.
You don't have enough mana to play an equipment.
Oh, Thalia trigger. Okay. Yeah. I mean, then I'd get a white source to re-equip, but yeah, we'll play it.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
I drew the 3rd Thalia.
Yeah. I mean, my worst plays then are just like Uro and, get a little extra card advantage. You weren't winning that game for sure.
No, I was not. Had to put the deputy that would have been really good there on the bottom at the beginning because I was so light on lands.
Would it have been good?
Yeah, I just got to keep some pressure on.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like I would, I always had access to the path with a fetch land. So if I really needed something back, I felt like I could. But yeah, it could have been better when you were getting a little more aggressive, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been enough there.
Yeah, but would have been solid. All right.
Never generated a ton of pressure.
I thought I only ran 2, so I'm going to take this out. Oh, I actually run 4. Yeah, okay. Well, it's unfortunate. We are just going to have to Celestial Purge. I mean, just out of sheer... We have nothing else because Force is so bad in this matchup. But I still agree with 4 Force. I just think the card is so very powerful. But I'd rather have... I mean, in this matchup, it's heinous. You just have all creatures and Aether Vials. But Celestial Purge can actually just hit something. Mantis Rider is one of the scariest cards. So having a way to deal with that is okay. But definitely cards I want to be at my bottom 2 cards in my deck. All right, Rob, do you got one question for us at all before we start this game?
I don't, but I do have a suggestion from chat.
Okay.
Ewell626 wants to see Ross get a mask with the image of him from the Fireball of your famous shirt with your face all over it.
Oh, yeah.
They want to see what that mask
with the shirt that Dom had? Yeah. I think that sounds like a perfect gift to be sent to Ross from one of our lovely viewers. Yeah, I don't know how to make one of those.
I'm sure people are starting to do custom masks by now. That's gotta be a thing, right?
Well, I'm just looking at Rob's mask right now, and it's hilarious. It's just a giant grinning smile.
It's Gengar. It's Pokemon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Ross first one-ups us with his shoe game, but now he has to one-up us with the mask game. It's kind of getting out of hand, don't you think? Huh?
Rob's got a lot of game.
He does got game. I have to agree.
Thank God you didn't see me when I was in college.
Ditto.
Oh, too funny. Okay. All right. I will be on the draw now. And your choice, Mr. Mario.
Got a solid hand I will keep.
Yeah, me too.
Coward on human, Vile.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I will play a land go.
Vile the 1.
Okay. I have a good hand, and dead on turn 2. Decisions, huh?
There were very few bad draws that didn't have my hand come together immediately, and I drew one of them.
Nice. Well, that's okay. My hand is not very good.
I think we just have to do Cavern on Human and pass.
Okay. And step opt?
Yeah.
That is not good enough, unfortunately. I think we need a little bit something more obvious for a hand. That was also heinous. That was also bad. Okay, land go.
And so back to it.
Yep.
Put on a champion.
Yep.
Wild to 2.
Yep.
Play another champion.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been much better last turn.
Yep.
Attack you for 2.
No blocks.
Activate Vial.
Sure.
Copy champion.
Okay.
Take 3.
All right.
You're
17.
You can go.
And we're dead. Your go.
Wild 3. So no threat of being able to verdict next turn, which is nice. I will play Relic.
All right. Got him. A target.
I will activate and put in a Mantis Rider.
Okay.
And I will attack you for 12.
I'll take it.
Brings you to 5.
Anyone's game?
And you can go.
Do you think I have a chance with my draw step? Because I do not. I will opt. I'll put that cryptic command on the bottom. A card that could actually saved me for a second. Ooh, that's a good one. I will opt. Nope. Island. That's not good. Draw. Oh, yeah. Can't cast a spell. Your go. Well, that opt did not turn out well.
Perfect. I will attack you for 19.
Mathematics, yeah. I mean, I had a purge, which actually had some decent targets, but yeah, there was nothing really lining up against the draw you had there. Maybe I should have mulliganed, but I mean, it was like Mana League, Opt to Fairy, Path, 3 lands that are not white. I think that's still got to be a keep, but
it's one of those weird spots where, you know, sometimes that Mana League is going to trade for a card and you're going to enjoy it against humans, and sometimes it's going to be a complete blank piece of cardboard.
Blank. Yeah, I think I got lucky to hit that.
Yeah,
in
this case, you know, might as well have been a blank piece of cardboard.
Yeah,
You know, essentially that when they just have Cavern and stuff, you know, I remember back when humans was really popular, I was playing Blue Moon for a bit of that time, and you know, I would leave in Spell Snare against them, but try to cut all my other counter spells.
Okay.
I would leave in Cryptic too because I could, you know,
of course.
stuff and tap stuff. But I would obviously cut Remand, but at like Logic, not anything like that.
Yep.
And anytime you got to Spell Snare a creature on the draw, like it almost would just won the game on the spot.
Honestly, anytime you get to Spell Snare anything on the draw in any factor, anytime you have it in your deck, it's absurd, you know? Well, looks like we got time for a pity game here. You're going to take this third match, so it wasn't a sweep. So consider that a win. So far, though, this was a Modern week for me. Normally you beat me in Modern pretty consistently, so this one felt good.
Yeah, it's a lot of close matches on Tuesday. That show will be great. When is that going up on YouTube, Rob?
I think it already did last night.
It's already up on YouTube.
Yeah, last night. Last night, because I remember I went to bed, and then I woke up
They now go up the day after at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
After at 5 p.m.
It was a phenomenal show. This show was very weird, and it was just blowouts in each direction, I feel. Like, 100%, I don't know if we played a close game. You know, I mean, that just happens sometimes, but...
So, I think... we just didn't
I don't think we played a single close game here today. That is absurd. Chat, what do you think? Was this one of the weirder shows that you've seen? I want to hear some responses.
That's sort of the reputation that Modern has garnered, but I think it's it's lazy at this point and just wrong. And it's been wrong about Modern for a while. Outside of the dominant summer of Hogak and the dominance of And even if you talk about the dominance of Oko,
I think
that deck was
Faithless
dominant,
Looting,
but it was still, you know, it was interactive games.
I think Faithless Looting led to a lot of degeneracy and a lot of just blowouts in either directions. I think once Faithless Looting was out, and, you know, probably Mox Opal, because Mox Opal was just too good, too, for so long, then I think games just became a lot more even. You know, there was a lot of play to them. And we had a day of, you know, Magic variants where we just had some beatings in each directions, you know?
But even with Faithless Looting in the format, before Creeping Chill was printed, you know, Dredge wasn't super popular. Phoenix hadn't become a thing yet.
Yep.
Obviously, Hogak wasn't a thing. There was like Hollow One was the degenerate thing you were doing with Faithless Looting.
Yeah.
But that, you know, even that sometimes played some interesting games with like fun combat scenarios and racing.
That was degenerate.
I mean, it had its degenerate games, but it wasn't degenerate in the same way a deck like, you know, like
Goro's Vengeance.
Yeah. That's a good example. It wasn't as polarizing as that deck. But, you know, for a couple of years now, Modern has had a lot of control decks. You know, Humans is an interactive fair deck.
Jund has always been playable, so I mean, that's sweet, you know.
It really hasn't been I actually think it was from the moment that they banned Gataxian Probe and printed Fatal Push.
Okay.
That's when like the Shadow deck started getting big. Tron got big. You know, basically from that point on, Modern has been great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you don't have to convince me. Modern
periods
awesome.
of degeneracy because of Hogak and whatever.
I totally agree. My hand's awesome.
My hand has nothing to play before turn 3, so I will once again mulligan that.
Excellent. All right, we got any questions from our lovely audience there, Rob?
Well, Heptagon has a bit of a burn here.
Ooh, even
Ross,
better.
if you want the marbles, you should just play mono red. Corey can't beat that.
Oh wait, a burn against me. Dang it.
I like how he just set him up there.
Yeah.
You started talking about me. You thought that's where the burn was going. Really let your guard down.
Hey Rob, ban that person swiftly. Okay. Yeah. This last weekend, for anybody who didn't get the reference, I top-aided both of the SCG events, and I got obliterated by red 2 different times.
That red deck, they can definitely curve you out.
Yeah, it used to be, you know, this last season, right before this last weekend where red started to get better, it was red deck tries, but I think it's getting back to red deck wins again, you know? All right, your go.
Okay, Cavern on Human Aether Vial.
All right. I have sack for an island, Mystic, get a Batter Skull, and pass to you.
So you're at 19.
Yep.
This will go to 1. Play Ziggurat. Valley's Lieutenant. Trigger on the stack.
Champion.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say,
it's the same amount of power either way. It's just whether you want...
It's where you want the power,
do I want 3/3 and a 1/1 or 2 2/2s?
Yeah, that's interesting.
It is interesting. I actually think I want 3/3 and a 1/1, so let's reverse it. I'm going to vial this in and then play the Lieutenant.
Okay, all right, so 19 to 20.
Yeah, and then I'll pass the turn.
All right.
Because you've got the threat of Batter Skull, so potentially getting this to a 5/5 next turn will give me another attacker.
Come on now.
Did you draw the other equipment?
No, never that unlucky, or never that unlucky here, but pretty close. Okay. I think I just want to go like this and pass to you. Set up our Batter Skull here.
File to 2.
Okay.
And that's a nice one. Trying the plane's not so nice, but I'll play Mantis Rider.
The Mantis Rider resolves, yep. Get one on that Lieutenant as well.
Yeah. And I will send in.
All right, a 4/4 coming in and a 3/3, but having a Vial able to block or to pump something when I Batter Skull means I just cannot block here unless I want to block with Mystic and flash something in, which is reasonable. I think that is acceptable. But I could do that next turn as well. But if you have like Reflector Mage or something, it's a little worse. So yeah, I'll block and then I'll flash in a Batter Skull.
Okay. So you got a Germ.
Yep.
You take 3, brings you to 16.
Yep.
And I'll activate Vial.
Okay.
Put in Athalia.
Okay.
Get these up to 2 and 4 counters.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
All right, I will sack this.
Go to 15.
Yep. Let's get a breeding pool here. Yep, pretty scary battlefield right here, but I gotta assume, I mean, at worst, you got one more good spell. So now I just gotta essentially try to beat this, but it doesn't look great. I'm sorry, I go to 15, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will untap. That was pretty dang good. Yeah, I don't see how I don't want to just play that. Okay. Timely.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, so I get soldiers.
Bring you to 21.
We got soldiers, yep. Aaron Barrage coming back to the party. And then I'll attack.
And now, I think I would have generally been okay double blocking this Batterskull with Lieutenant and Mantis Rider.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I totally screwed up. I should have probably attacked first since it wouldn't have generated enough.
With you having those tokens, now a 5th land, and you just move the Batterskull over.
Yep.
So I just have to take this. So 16 to 25.
All right, your go. Got a nice little life buffer here, but I mean, I kind of am all in on this stuff too.
I have a Silent Clearing in my hand, so I want to tick this vial up to 3. Normally, you really want to consider leaving it on 2.
Yep.
There are a lot of 2s, but here I'm going to be able to pop this and have 2 mana up still for a 2-drop.
Yep, that's pretty good.
3 for like a Deputy Detention would be huge here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that was a good draw. There's no reason to not pop the Clearing.
Okay.
Activate Vial. Get a Mantis Rider.
Mm.
And I don't want to attack because you can just, trade off.
Yeah.
And then move the Batterskull over, but we'll send it in the air.
Okay, yep, that's terrifying.
Bring you to 19.
19.
It's terrifying that you're somehow at 19.
Yeah.
Just gained 10 life last turn. If you were at 9, this would be a lot better.
Oh, definitely. But still a very scary scenario here.
Pass the turn.
Okay. Gross. Not what I wanted there. Probably the last card that I actually wanted to draw there. I think I have one choice from what to play here, and that's just get this going. But dang, is this not good if we don't get a land? If we get a land, this is a totally reasonable play. Now, you have a 6/6, so I can't really get in there with Batterskull. Even switching over the Batterskull to one of the Aaron Barrages, wouldn't be good enough here. So we just have to start with this and really kind of hope to get a land. So
bring it to 22.
Yep. All right, that's not good. Bastille, just drawing those were heinous draw steps there. I'd like to just free discard them to put my Uro stuff up.
Pop a Canopy.
Okay. Luckily, I'm still above 20. That is my only good aspect I got for myself right now. This is exactly what I want to do next turn. This is the goal. So this could really be a good swing in my favor.
I have a Meddling Mage.
Okay.
And I don't know what I want to name.
Yeah, I don't know what I want you to name. Well, I mean, I guess I know my hand, but...
Yeah, so you have 4 cards in the graveyard for Uro.
Mm-hmm.
So any fetch land will let you Uro.
Yep.
The Uro is like, it's good. It'll draw another card. It'll gain 3 life. But
your champion's so big.
Yeah, but the champion's bigger than it. The lieutenant's almost bigger than it.
Yeah.
So even with a path, it's going to be hard to attack. I don't think you have a path. I think you would have used one by now.
Yeah, I can't cast it right now.
Yeah, you can't cast it now, but I think you would have done, I guess you timely the turn before you tapped out.
Yeah.
And the turn before that,
and I did want to land with this. Path makes sense.
Yeah. Could have a path. I'm super scared of Verdict, obviously. Even though you're losing creatures, you have the Uro sitting over there. I only have one card
a lot
in.
more, yeah.
So I feel like I probably just have to name Supreme Verdict.
Yeah.
Because it's I have 2 creatures that check the Batterskull at this point, and 2 Mantis Riders, so Path is not going to do a ton.
Mm-hmm.
So let's name Supreme Verdict.
Okay.
And get in for 6.
All right.
Get a 16.
Down to 16. That's a fun thing to say. Ugh.
Yeah, you should be at 3. You've gained 13 life this game.
Well, we just have to start with this, I think. We need some lands. So I'm going to opt.
Yep.
Don't want that cryptic command. Draw. Okay, cool. All right.
Not a land. So.
Your go.
Okay, now I've set. Ooh. I think I just have to try to kill you next turn. So I will play Thalia's Lieutenant.
Okay.
This will go to 6 counters. This will go to 8. Then we'll get some more dice everywhere.
Yep.
And I'll attack you for 8 in the air.
All right, I got a path for one of them. I'll go to 12.
I will get an island.
Okay. And it's on Verdict, the Meddling Mage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're at 12.
Okay.
And I will pass a turn. Maybe I was supposed to start attacking with the big uns. Yeah, probably was. Well, I'll attack with one of them.
Yeah, it could be. I will pass to you.
It's probably supposed to attack with one of them last turn too. No, this is the only turn that it got big enough where I guess last turn you would have had to trade all of your creatures for the champion, which I think is fine.
Yeah,
I should have been attacking the last 2 turns of this champion.
I definitely agree. I will pass. So we're just desperately trying to hit a land drop here and getting wrecked because of it.
Okay, well, that's a good draw. I will play a Meddling Mage.
Okay, that resolves.
Now what do I want to name?
I got so many cards that it's like, yeah, if you name one thing, at least I have something else to do, but...
I think you would have pathed or Ice Fanged in response. I think you would have pathed or Ice Fanged in response, but those are the cards I'm scared of. You can't Cryptic right now.
That's true.
Though, if you maybe you just have both and you're just like letting me name one. You 100% would have Ice Fanged by now if you had one. You would have Ice Fanged on your turn too, just to hit land drops. So I don't think you have an Ice Fang Coatl. Maybe you could have another path. You probably would have pathed in response. Yeah, I'm going to name Path Exile.
Okie dokie.
Declare tax.
Yep.
I will attack with all of my creatures, and before blocks, activate Vial.
Okay.
I'll put in Reflector Mage and bounce the drum.
All right. That's cool. That's cool.
Now, these are gigantic, and these are all 3 power, and the Mantis Art is 4 power. So you need to chump 3 things to live, you need to chump 3 things to live.
Well, I got a Purge.
Purge.
I was like, there's no way you're naming Purge. If you do, that's just going to be sweet. So I was like, I'll let that happen. Now let's line up our blocks.
Well, have to chump these 2.
Yeah. So that's 2. And now it's just, do I want to...
You can just leave that one around and maybe equip the Batterskull to it, but I don't think that's good enough.
Yeah, I think I'm quite dead here. I think I have to draw an untapped blue source just to be able to stay alive with this card. So yeah, I'm going to chump your biggest thing.
So you're going to take 6.
Okay.
So you go to 6.
All right.
Yeah, and if I had attacked twice with Champion of the Parish and you had lost to 2 soldiers there, you'd have just been dead this time.
Yeah, I think you were playing way too conservative on the ground. All right, draw step. Nice. I needed a land so bad, and these were my last draw steps. Just can't counter anything. Jace, which is going to be bad, and then a 3rd Stoneforge, so I can't even get anything. And I just need 1 more land to be able to at least tap you down, draw a card. Wow.
Even that, that's not super scary.
Oh no, but I mean, it's the only thing that keeps me in the game. I am toast. Well, I mean, at least we stayed on par with having 0 good games on Versus Live today. Hey, humans look sweet though. I think, and I mean, look at how many cards with what the metagame is built to beat. This is a deck that did very well. I mean, this specific list, top 4 to PTQ or whatever this last weekend, right? Something like that. But you look at all this, the built-in holes that this deck has against human. I have to leave in Mana League. I had to bring in Purge, Decks are not slanted in such a way that they're ready to beat humans right now. So it might be a perfect little weekend to sneak in a humans deck. I for sure wouldn't want to play it with how these games went. It was very scary.
Yeah, and that's sort of my contention. A couple years ago, humans was really good. It was one of the best decks in Modern for a while, and it just didn't really get upgrades for a year or so, and when that happens to a deck, it just gets worse because other decks start getting a little bit better with new cards getting printed, and humans just got worse.
Like Engineer Run and 6, probably the biggest offenders.
Yes. Certainly really buried the deck. And what happens then is everybody forgets about it, and then all the cards that used to be commonplace when it was doing so well start to
lower those numbers slowly
out of the metagame. And I don't think humans is a deck that is going to take over again. It hasn't gotten huge upgrades. It's had a few. Unsettled Mariner, General Kudrow. Those are solid cards, but they're not game-changing cards.
And I think the one card, let me interrupt you for 1 second. I think the one card that people really trimmed on right now that used to just be insane, Engineered Explosives. I think that's one of the biggest ones.
It was such a powerful card in Urza decks and with Mox Opal that you saw 3 and 4 copies in main decks, and it's it's the single best card against humans.
Exactly,
because you can set a lower cost than you want in reality, but have Thalia add 1 onto it to get you where you want. So say X equals 1, now you have to pay 2, and then that counts towards Sunburst, and suddenly you have an E for 2 that still costs you 2 mana.
Does not work great against against that
condensed curve that Vile makes you play. It really works. But right now, nobody has a lot of sweepers. There's not a lot of E's in particular. The best sweeper, there's 1 Verdict, maybe 2 max in these decks, usually in the sideboard. Maybe it's 0-1 main and 0-1 on the board. In the blue-whitish decks. There's 2 Angers in the sideboard of a lot of decks. But, you can get a creature that outside of Anger range, especially if you can get a counter from Thalia's Lieutenant onto General Kudrow.
Oh yeah.
So that
I think it seems sweet. I look at the Teamer decks, like the Teamer Scapeshift decks. I bet those would give you a little bit of a problem because you have Bolt. You have this over the top effect that you're working towards where you're just control, you're dead. Something like that is a better game plan against this than excuse me, control, finish off with an Uro, a creature that you can interact with, stuff like that. So I think those kind of decks, maybe Sultai that can interact a little bit more as well, would give it a little bit more of a hard time. But overall, it seems like it's at a really good spot. I think that is a good deck to write about right now too, because I think that is sneaking under the radar.
The time is now for it. I don't think it's going to be powerful enough to be good for a month straight. You got to pick your spots with it, but right now is a very good time for humans.
Well, I love it. Well, this was a very odd show for us on Versus Live. We didn't exactly have
the marbles. That's very strange.
I know. I kept the marbles. We didn't have any really good back and forth intense games like we do basically every other Modern show. So it's just kind of beatings left and right. I didn't really feel in this match, and then the first 2 matches were just beatings as well. So a little bit of a weird show there for you, Twitch chat. But you know what? We had a lot of fun. And before we get out of here, we are going to thank some of our lovely sponsors. We are going to thank some subs, and then we're going to get out of here.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, got a few subs today. Scott Pete subscribed with Prime, and Heptagon24 gave out another community sub. So thank you.
Awesome. Appreciate those subs, everybody. We really appreciate the support here on the Star City Games Twitch channel. If you want to support us in a different way and get some really good stuff to boot, head over to starcitygames.com/join-premium. What $7.99 will get you is access to exclusive content, 5% off sealed products, 10% off singles, and then 15% off supplies. So a good deal. Head over and subscribe today.
And particularly a good deal if you're a fan of the Ultimate Guard line of supplies that SCG does carry, including the katana sleeves that we use on Versus Live. So if you do, buy a lot of those supplies, you can head on over, get SCG Premium and get yourself a discount, essentially pay for that $8 or at least most of it just from the discount.
And it's not fair. They must like Ross more because he's got some fresh katana sleeves today, and there is nothing like fresh sleeves right before you play a tournament. So I wanted to give that a shuffle one time. And one thing I also like to do, you won't believe this, I'm a big fan of sitting. I love it. It's probably
First I'm hearing of this.
It's probably my second favorite thing next to laying. Laying is pretty good. Standing, running, jogging, they're lower on the bottom, but sitting is up there. And when I want to sit, I sit in some Carnox chairs. So if you want to be like me, head over to carnox.com/SCG. You can use that affiliate link to get yourself 10% off one of these awesome Carnox gaming chairs.
When you ask people if they want to be like you, they're not going to buy the chair.
Oh, dang it. Okay. If you also have a very high priority on sitting like I do, there you go. How about that?
That's better.
Thank you.
Well, last but not least, we are also sponsored by Coalesce Apparel. If you like the shirts that we wear every day on Versus Live, head on over to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the gift code SCG and you will get 10% off of your purchase there.
Love it. I'm not a big fan of wearing shirts, but most establishments require it. So I do choose Coalesce Apparel when I, have to wear shirts.
Just covering up needs.
Exactly.
Public decency needs.
Exactly. All right. So thank you so much to our sponsors. So much thanks to you, our viewers, for watching the show. We really appreciate it. There goes our Modern Week. Next week, who knows who we're going to be getting into, but we'll do some planning. As far as this week, though, we got some exciting stuff happening. We still have these SCG Standard Championship qualifiers running all weekend as well as next week to get you ready for Standard Championship qualifier number 1 on Sunday of next weekend already. But before that, we have the Players Tour Finals this weekend to watch. I will be commentating on that, so please tune into that. Check out some high-level Magic that's going to be broadcasted to you from everyone's home. A different feel, but still going to be a really cool players. 145 players qualified, so it should be a really fun thing to watch. And then next week, we get back to playing SCG Championship qualifiers online. I am pumped. Probably playing Team of Reclamation, but we will see. It'll be a good time. Have you learned your lesson yet? Are you going to be going into the Reclamation plan? All right. We got him. We got him back on the hook. He's done with Rakdos cards for now. I won't let him submit it again, so... All right, everyone, I want to thank you.
You're tempting me now. You're tempting me.
Oh, dang it. I just lit the fire right there. If you tell Ross you can't play this, he's going to play an unplayable deck. So let's go. All right, everyone, once again, I want to thank you so much. So for Corey, Ross, and Rob, we will see you Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time for more Versus Live action. Bye-bye.